Hi, my name is Ms. Schmidt, your librarian. I am going to start reading part 2 of Star Wars: The Rise of a Hero, this graphic novel. And where we left off, they were about to attempt to rescue Princess Leia. Quickly, he tells the others his plan, and the droids will stay behind while Luke and Han pretend to escort Chewbacca to the prison level. Once there, they'll locate Leia and liberate her. Han agrees, but only when Luke promises him a huge reward. After all, they will be rescuing a princess, and as everyone knows, princesses are rich. Luke's clever plan takes them as far as the prison level, but there they run into trouble. Han and Chewbacca fight off attacking stormtroopers while Luke rushes to release the princess. Luke blasts the lock and bursts into her cell. "I'm Luke Skywalker," he gasps. "I'm here to rescue you. I've got your R2 unit, and I'm here with Ben Kenobi." Princess Leia leaps to her feet. That's all she needs to hear. But as they rush from the cell, Han and Chewbacca are racing towards them, dodging laser blasts with irate stormtroopers on their tails. The heroes are trapped in the cell bay, but Leia isn't the sort of princess who simply waits to be rescued. Princess Leia snatches Luke's blaster and shoots through a grate in the wall. At first, Luke doesn't understand what she's doing. Then he gets it. The grate opens into a shaft, and they can slide down the passage and escape. Leia, Luke, Chewie, and finally Han dive into a hole, and they land in a pile of reeking garbage, surrounded by liquid sludge and in even more trouble. Inside the garbage room, a slimy tentacle drags Luke beneath the scummy sewage. Han fires, but his blasts don't stop the monster for long. Luke is gone. Then, with a deep rumble, the room begins to shake, and suddenly Luke bobs to the surface. The monster has released him. But why? The walls of the room start to slide together, and Luke realizes that they are caught in a huge trash masher. Normally, it just crushes garbage. Now it is about to crush them. And as they try to brace the walls, Luke shouts into his comlink, telling 3PO to turn off all the garbage mashers on the prison level. It works. The walls stop moving, and they escape into another corridor. Luke and Han are stripping off their wet and stinking armor when suddenly more stormtroopers arrive, and once again, they are on the run. At an intersection, Han and Chewie turn left, but Luke and Leia go right. Luke and Leia dash on, dodging laser blasts until they nearly stumble into a deep shaft. Luke and Leia are trapped, and there's no way to get across unless Luke suddenly remembers that his utility belt holds a grappling hook. But will it work? While Leia holds off the stormtroopers, Luke hurls the hook across the chasm. It catches, and the line pulls tight. Leia gives Luke a quick kiss for luck, and then they're swinging across the vast abyss to safety on the other side. When Luke and Leia reach the docking bay, Han and Chewie are waiting in the shadows across the bay. Lightsabers are clashing as stormtroopers watch with fascination. "It's Ben," Luke whispers. Leia nods, and he's fighting Darth Vader. Darth Vader, Luke thinks. "The Imperial monster who destroyed my father." The blades continue to flash as the enemies face off in a savage duel, and it is clear this battle will end only when one of them is dead. Though Ben is old and without armor, he matches the armored giant blow for blow. Then Ben spots Luke and the others, and something strange happens. He lifts his sword and steps back, and he lets Darth Vader slash right through him. Ben's robe falls to the floor, but it's empty. Ben is gone. In horror, Luke screams Ben's name, and the stormtroopers whirl and open fire. That's when Luke thinks he hears Ben calling to him, "Run, Luke, run." As they dash for the ship, Han mutters, "I just hope that old man managed to turn off the tractor beam." Obi-Wan Kenobi is gone, but he kept his promise. The tractor beam is off, and the Millennium Falcon can escape into space. Luke feels the loss of Ben greatly, and his aunt and uncle are dead. Now his teacher, who has already begun to feel almost like a father, is gone too. But there's no time to grieve. The Imperial fighters are pouring out of the battle station. They're going to have to fight for their lives. While Chewbacca pilots the ship, Luke and Han man the laser cannons. They fire and fire again and again until all the TIE fighters are gone. Han and Luke are excited. They work together and they won, but Leia thinks their escape was too easy. She's sure Darth Vader let them go. Han is annoyed with Leia, but as the Millennium Falcon jumps into hyperspace, Luke wonders if she might be right. With Alderaan annihilated, they have no choice but to fly to the fourth moon of Yavin, the main base of the rebellion. R2 holds the secret plans to the Death Star, and Leia hopes the rebel leaders can use them to find a way to destroy the deadly space station before it threatens more worlds. Luke saw what the Death Star did to Alderaan, and he knows that finding a weakness in the space station may be the rebels' only hope. In the war room, rebel pilots watch closely as General Dodonna projects the plans to the battle station. He points to the narrow trench that leads to a small exhaust port that feeds directly into the reactor. If they can fire a torpedo into it, a chain reaction will destroy the Death Star. That's impossible, even with the targeting computer, whispers Wedge Antilles, a pilot in Luke's Red Squadron. It's not impossible. I used to bullseye womp rats the size of that port from my skyhopper back home, Luke answers. Alarms sound, announcing the Death Star's arrival on the far side of Yavin 4. The rebel pilots race for their X-Wings. Han has gotten his reward, and he and Chewbacca are leaving. He urges Luke to come with them, but Luke has seen what the evil Empire is capable of, and he needs to stop it. Angrily, Luke turns away from Han. Then Biggs, his best friend from Tatooine, dashes up, excited to see Luke, glad that they're both in Red Squadron. Biggs is a link to Luke's home and family. It feels like a sign everything will be all right. As Luke's X-Wing soars into battle, he thinks he hears Ben say, "Luke, the Force will be with you." Explosions rock the rebel fleet as Imperial TIE fighters close in. Red Squadron's orders are to hold off the TIEs and protect Gold Squadron, and Luke joins the dogfight eagerly. Below in the Death Star trench, Gold Squadron pilots try desperately to hit the exhaust port, but again and again they fail. The Death Star is powering up, getting ready to fire the beam that will destroy Yavin 4. Time is running out. Finally, it is up to the Red Squadron. If they fail to make the shot, the moon below and everyone on it will be doomed. Several more experienced pilots fire and miss, and then at last, it's Luke's turn. Luke drops into the trench full throttle with Biggs and Wedge behind him in tight formation. Suddenly, laser bolts streak past Luke as a powerful, oddly shaped TIE fighter, followed by two wingmen, swoops in behind them. Biggs and Wedge fall back to protect Luke, but precision blasts from the strange ship knock Wedge from the trench and engulf Biggs' X-Wing in flames. Finally, only Luke is left. Luke begins to line up the shot on his targeting computer, then he hears Ben's voice again. Use the Force, Luke. He thinks about his Jedi training aboard the Millennium Falcon, and he realizes the computers haven't worked for anyone else and probably won't work for him either. Maybe the Force really is their only hope. Luke isn't in firing range, not yet, and the TIE fighters are still on his tail. But he turns off his computer and focuses his instincts, trying to feel the Force around him. Then the odd-shaped TIE moves closer. A laser blast hits R2, and the next one will hit his X-Wing squarely. Luke realizes with despair he's so close, but as if by magic, one of the TIE fighters following Luke explodes in a burst of flame. The second sends the second TIE into the odd-shaped fighter, causing it to spin out of the trench and into space. Then Han's voice comes through Luke's comm. "You're all clear, kid. Let's blow this thing and go home." Han saved my life, Luke thinks. The smuggler has given the rebel cause one final chance for victory. Luke reaches out with his feelings, and this time he knows what to do. He aims, and when it feels right, he pulls the trigger. The torpedoes burst from their housings and slip into the exhaust port. Bullseye. Han's cheer rings through the comm. "Great shot, kid. That was 1 in a million." And Luke hears Ben's voice again. "Remember, the Force will be with you always." Luke pulls his X-Wing upward at full throttle out of the trench and into space where the Millennium Falcon and Wedge's X-Wing are waiting. The torpedoes are now moving through the Death Star and will soon reach the reactor. 5, Luke counts. 4, 3, 2, 1. The Death Star explodes into a billion fragments. When Luke climbs from his X-Wing back on the base, a cheering crowd surrounds him. Princess Leia throws her arms around him and hugs him tight. Then Han dashes up and joins in their victory celebration. "I knew you'd come back," Luke cries. Han laughs. "I wasn't going to let you get all the credit and take all the reward. But despite what Han says. His actions prove his friends are more important to him than money. Han has put his life in danger to save them all. Brave little R2 is lowered from the X-Wing, looking much worse than the day Luke's uncle bought him. 3PO gazes at his best friend in horror. R2, can you hear me? He cries, say something. Luke will always miss his best friend Biggs, so he understands how 3PO feels. He assures the golden droid that R2 will soon be as good as new. Soon it is time to formally celebrate their magnificent victory. As Luke stands at attention before the assembled rebels, his heart swells. Together they destroyed the Empire's most powerful weapon. Leia delivered the plans, and Han and Chewie blew away the TIE fighters, giving Luke the chance to demolish the Death Star. Despite all he has lost, Luke Skywalker feels happy, as though he has a new purpose and a new hope for the future. And he's more determined than ever to continue his studies and become a Jedi Knight like his father. It's like Ben told me, Luke thinks as he looks out at the cheering rebels. The Force will be with me always. And that's the end. I hope you enjoyed this book, Star Wars: The Rise of a Hero. And I hope you have a great day. Bye for now.